Hello everyone, and today we are going to be playing against another one of the Chessadaro coaches, which is Sandro Safar, a FIDE master, who also has a chess channel called LionChess. I'll link it in the description and you can check it out as well. So the idea is that we will play a game on the chess, and we will play another one as well. We will play two games with Rapid, and we will talk through our thought process. And at the end of this, we will also jump into a Zoom call and talk about the game that we have played. So we have a Sicilian, and he's playing knight c3, which is the closed Sicilian. This still is a bit undefined. He might play with f4, he might play without f4. I will play d6 and see what he plays. But okay, he plays the Grand Prix attack, which is also possible. So let's fianchetto the bishop. This is the standard way to play. He will try to checkmate me, but hopefully this does not succeed. And hopefully I try to get enough play on the queen side. So okay, knight f3, bishop g7. Now he will develop the bishop somewhere. And we will see what happens. Bishop b5 is a move, bishop c4 is a move. They are both possible. D3. Okay, d3 is a bit strange. I guess this is possible as well. Not developing the bishop. So I will just develop the knight. So I think this is a bit passive from white, but I assume this is playable as well. I guess he will develop the bishop to g2 to play in the more standard Sicilian manner. And then I will probably try to develop my kingside knight and castle, probably e6, knight g2 e7, because one of white's ideas is f5, and this setup probably will stop him from playing f5. My main plan here is rook b8, b5, b4, taking space on the queen side and hopefully getting counterplay over there. h3. So h3 is a bit of a strange move, at least to me. Now, knight f6 makes sense, but again, I don't really like the knight on the square. I'm not sure g4 is a big issue here. So if I play e6, is Cyril going to play g4? I'm not sure. Knight g2 e7. I don't really believe it. I will play e6, and then the knight can go to e7. Maybe his point is bishop e3 and playing d4. This perhaps makes some sense. g3. So okay, I'm not sure why he played h3. This seems like a waste of a tempo. Okay, I will develop the knight as planned. Now, if he plays bishop g2, I will have to think whether I castle or do I play something like rook b8 to accelerate my play on the queen side. And generally, we should castle as early as possible, but maybe the tempo matters. Let's calculate something. Castles. Yeah, if he castles, then I think I'm fine. But castles bishop e3. This somehow wants to play d4. But if I play rook b8, he can play this anyway. Yeah, h3 is a bit of a strange move to me. I guess he wants to play g4 at some point. Maybe I will not rush with castling, I will play rook b8. I simply want b5 and b4, gaining some kind of space on the queen side, as this is where my bishop is looking at. I want to play on that side of the board. So let's see what he does here. d4, yeah, he can play this as well. This doesn't change too much, I will play b5 anyway. Otherwise the rook on b8 didn't really make much sense. So a4 doesn't really stop b5, it only postpones it. And the open a file is not necessarily good for white. It might be useful for me as well. Okay, I will play b5. I can still castle. Now that he has castled, I can castle a bit more safely, as something like h4, h5 is less likely to happen. But I don't think there's any point of rushing here. And yeah, he does have the a file, but I don't think I should be scared of this. Probably bishop e3 will be played, something like this. And generally I'm familiar with these positions without h3. So h3 I'm not sure if it's a very useful move, because if, for example, he wants to play g4, he doesn't need h3. And here, maybe that extra tempo means something, which is why I'm not trying to castle. So this is kind of complicated, but in general, my play is quite simple. I'm just trying to do something on the queen side, while he's trying to do something on the king side. Okay, knight e2 without even allowing b4. So now I assume his plan is c3 and d4. This would make sense. At some point I should probably start playing d5. Maybe his idea is g3, knight g4, knight g3, and then to play f5, which would also make sense. Maybe I should play d5, I'm not sure. I mean, I do kind of like d5. He might go e5, this is kind of the problem. And then my bishop is a bit blocked. I might play b4 here. Yeah, let's play b4. I think I'm playing this move in either case. Now if c3, I don't have to take instantly. I will take at some point. He cannot develop the bishop, as this one is hanging. So let's see what he does. He can play something like f5 at some point, but I think I have it covered. So I'm not scared of this. Yeah, he plays c3. So his plan is kind of d4. So now that he plays c3, I'm not really scared of g4 and knight g3, because this would be very slow, which means I could start playing on the other side of the board. So okay, let's castle. I don't think he's going to attack me anymore. He will play d4 or bishop e3. He's not going to take. I could have taken, but I don't really want to give up the tension yet. I don't see much of a point in that. So I will keep the tension until a moment where it's more useful. Because after all, I could at some point play b3. It doesn't seem very likely, but at least it is possible. So what can I do? I am up on time at the moment. I haven't really played any very difficult moves so far. And I do like my position again. I don't really think he will do this. I guess I'll go here or something. He's thinking for quite a while. So now he's thinking what his plan is. And I'm not really sure what his plan is. I mean, again, I would assume d4 would be played at some point. So after d4, there are a couple of ideas. Yeah, he plays d4. I'll probably start taking stuff. And then take here. And then maybe d5. We'll play e5. Knight f5, and there this move with g4 might happen. Right. So his idea is kind of to play e5. So now I have to be slightly careful. I mean, I assume taking here does make sense. Yeah, I think I will take here to weaken his position a little bit. And now I was thinking queen b6 with the idea of playing bishop to a6. This way activating all of my pieces. What else can we do? We can take here. That is true. Queen b6. Kind of with the same idea. But again, I don't really want to get rid of the tension though. There's probably no reason to keep the tension actually. Unless I want this pawn to become a weakness. So queen b6, bishop e3. I guess I could take there. If he ever takes with a piece, I think c3 is a weakness. So I'm thinking queen b6. He cannot go e5 there, I guess, because takes. And at the end of this, there will be a pin on this diagonal. So what is he going to do? What else? If bishop e3, I can take maybe d5 and then knight f5. This would all come with tempo. Maybe this would be a bit more smart. Okay, either way, I'm probably playing queen b6. Is there anything wrong with queen b6? Maybe he's playing king h2 or something. Then I'll go here, I guess. Okay, let's figure it out later. If he moves the king, I might take and then bishop a6 so that he does not have this option. If he plays d5, I think I'm going to capture and play knight b4. Kind of using this pin on the rook. There is the move rook b1 there. Yeah, he plays this. I also actually have this kind of idea, but probably this is not really going to do too much. So okay, I'm going to take, I guess. Yeah, and also this bishop is kind of pinned, which might go in my advantage somehow. Maybe e5. He does have this rook b1 move at any point, but I can capture it. And if e5, I'm not that convinced. Okay, if bishop a6, I have the threat of taking and winning a pawn, I guess. What exactly is he going to do there? I guess that is for him to decide. Let's play this move, bishop a6. Now all of my pieces are developed. The structure is all on one side, but I am quite enjoying my position. All of my pieces are developed. And yeah, next, I mean, f5 is sometimes an idea to take away this pawn to get the d5 square, but I don't think this is particularly useful. What else can we do? I mean, d5 is the main move, because the problem is if I play a bit slowly and he gets to play e5 at some point, I will have quite a sad position due to this bishop and the weakness on f6, and there usually white gets some kind of attack. Okay, he plays this, which was kind of expected. Yeah, now I really would like to play e5 maybe. Can I play e5? I'm kind of threatening the pawn, like first taking here and then taking the pawn. What can he do? Like, can he take? I mean, he could play here, I guess, but I'm not really sure this does anything. I'll just take the pawn. So e5 might be good. Like, what exactly can he do? Is it rook a4? But then I will play bishop b5 and his rook will have to go away. I will take this and he will not be able to defend the pawn. So this is one idea. I mean, I really want to play d5, but e5, knight f5, bishop f2. And if I don't win this pawn, I'll not be very happy. I don't think I am winning the pawn and the bishop is blocked. So e5 comes to mind here to continue the initiative. And I'm not sure what he has to do there. I'm going to just take here and probably take the pawn, right? Okay, I'm not sure. I don't see the move for him. Yeah, e5. I mean, I think I'm winning a pawn here. And if I win this pawn, I will have a passed pawn on the d file, which is generally something useful to have. Now that I see it, maybe I am winning the pawn, because I was thinking of some deflection tactics, rook a6 or something on d4, but the bishop is not going to be on the a6 square anymore. So white has kind of played a closed Sicilian where he has to attack on the king side, but this didn't really work out, and my play on the queen side sort of did work out. So I think I'm very happy here. So I'm expecting something like bishop f2, so let's see what he does. His time is ticking away. Actually, now that I realized, you cannot see the time situation, but I have 5 minutes against 3. We are playing a 10+5 game, so hopefully I win on time as well. As if I don't, hopefully I can win on the position as well. Yeah, I still have these d5 ideas. Now they might be more effective because he cannot answer with e5. This is quite hypothetical, but maybe I'm not talking nonsense. Okay. Right. He can do this, I guess. His point is bishop e2. He will take here. Yeah, that does make sense. Maybe that is some cause for concern. Yeah, maybe I misjudged this move. So what else can we do? I guess we can take here. But the knight will go here. I really want to take this knight. But okay, if I take here, not great. What else can we do? Yeah, I really want to take this knight. But now, yeah, he is taking here. Discovered attack. I guess I have to calculate something. Queen b2. Right, there he has to take here, I guess. Because otherwise the rook is saying, okay, what's going on here? Here, queen b2, queen e2. Maybe I'll win a pawn. I mean, I might. Sure, this looks the best that I can find. Oh, here? Never mind then. I guess he just gives me the pawn. Am I blind? Okay, here. Yeah, I'll take the pawn. I thought this was his point, but okay. So if I take like this, bishop f2, don't see a follow-up. I want to exchange something, I guess. Do I? I guess. Yeah, I'm going to go with my intuitive choice and take with the knight. He will take, basically guaranteed. And then I will recapture. I can do this pre-move. He will play bishop f2. And surely he's not taking with the bishop, right? I'm not really believing in some blockade there. He's thinking, but I think he must take with the knight and go bishop f2. I'm not sure. Yeah, he takes. Yeah, bishop f2. Yeah, but what can we do? We could improve the rook. I don't really have a threat there, but I think his position is quite unpleasant. Does he have a threat? Is he trying to play f5? Don't really believe in f5. I don't think his pieces are well placed to attack me, and this f5 move gives up the square on e5. I'm thinking just rook fc8. Does he have any moves? Is he playing rook d1? He might be. Again, I'm not particularly scared of this type of move. Maybe I should just play a bit faster. I would really like to play d5 somehow. I guess it's not working. I could play queen b4. Whatever. Rook f6 can be a bad move. Rook d1. I'll defend the pawn. He doesn't have many pieces with which he can attack the pawn. So at the moment, I think my pawn is quite safe. Generally, I will play, I don't know, here, yeah. Rook c4, I think I will defend. And no real active moves are possible. Though, queen b3 is funny because I'm attacking this pawn. Maybe this might be useful. Queen b3 is very tempting to me. If he takes, I will... But I am losing the d6 pawn there. Yeah, not really a fan. I'll play rook c4. Don't see an issue with this. Actually, there's not that much time here. I should probably play a bit faster now. You do have a 5-second increment, but talking while playing is extremely difficult. I don't know, f5. What's he going to do? f5. I might even take them. Maybe his point is queen g5, so I'll probably not take. Okay, my pawn is defended, it's alive. I want to make some kind of progress somehow. Here and here. He plays this. Yeah, I guess this is possible. So if I take... Is he trying to win my pawn? Okay, I'm going to take either way. I really want to take. And now knight f5, I assume. With the threat of bishop h6 and posting up on e3. Like, what's he do? Bishop d5. Suppose that's possible. Yeah, sure. Bishop d5, I'll go rook to c5. He has opened his unopposed light squared bishop, but I'm not terribly concerned. Yeah, here I was thinking bishop h6. g5, I guess I'm just generally happy to have a stable knight here, but this looks like a better move somehow. Takes. Here. Looks strong. So I guess I'll go here. Is this a move? Somehow knight g3 here. No, not true. Oh, I do not have time. Okay, let's go here. I didn't really calculate this actually. Hopefully this works. I just saw this move. I might be losing something. Yeah, this was quite random. Very uncareful by me. What can I do after queen a2? Not a good sign. Oh, actually, I can play this, right? Because if he takes, I will, bishop e3, take, e2. if I discover check. So I guess I'm doing okay here. This was a bit random. Queen a2, I think knight e3 as well. So I'm not going to say I calculated this very accurately, but I think I'm doing fine. And yeah, if he takes with something else, I will take and take here. Should be doing quite well. This is a fork, and my rook is, I guess, okay. He's running out of time. Yeah, he takes here. I must take with this. He doesn't take, of course. All right, so now my position is winning because I have the safer king. So now I'm going to try to pick up this pawn as safely as possible, probably by playing here and taking the pawn, and eventually I will try to checkmate on this diagonal. Actually, I do have a pawn advantage, which is something I kind of forgot. I might push the pawn as well, if he allows me to. So okay, I want to somehow consolidate. h5 maybe I want to play. Do I want to play h5? Sure. I guess I want to play h5, as this kind of weakens his king as well. Actually, bishop f3. Okay, I'll go here. This doesn't work because the queen is defended. I'm actually threatening mate. I'm not really mate. Right here. I don't know, I'll go king g7. This is kind of a random move. Kind of just asking him what he's going to do. He goes here. Want to ask him what he's doing after this one. I'm kind of threatening something. Yeah, this looks like threat of checkmate. Okay. Yeah, maybe this wasn't the most precise. I'll go here. No reason for this move. I might go rook e5 and then rook h5. This also doesn't do anything. I want to exchange one rook, I guess. Maybe I should just exchange pieces. Maybe I'm doing it a bit... It's a bit too complicated, right? Maybe I should just exchange pieces and push my pawn. Yeah, it goes here. I should activate the rook somehow. Yeah, I'll go queen g3, I guess. This kind of threatens bishop f4. Can go here, yeah, here. Here, checkmate. So bishop f4, he doesn't have any checks, I guess. I guess this should end the game. And queen g1, I guess, will be played, rook h3. Maybe he will resign, yeah, here. Yeah, I guess I'll take this. I'm a bit sloppy, but I guess this is winning. Yeah, here I'll give a check, king f1, and this is checkmate with pre-move. So, quite an interesting game there. Let's play another game. So now I have the white pieces. What can we do with the white pieces? There are plenty of openings with white. I will develop my knight. Hopefully this is okay. f5. So he wants to kind of win with black to equalize the match score. So against knight f3, playing f5 is extremely risky because my pawn is not on d4, which means I could play d3 and e4, which is what I usually play after f5. And this is sort of a gambit. After knight f6, I'm going to give up a pawn, but his king is very weak. And I don't really believe in the Dutch defense in general. I don't think it's a very good opening. And there are plenty of reasons why, but the main one is very universal. This move weakens the king. Yeah, he goes here. Right, so this is kind of clever. So if e4, I guess he goes e5. I'm going to do something very funny. I will play d4, because now I will play the Dutch, but without a tempo. But the point is, his knight on c6 is not very well placed. He might want the pawn on c6 or somewhere else. So this is quite a strange opening. I'm not entirely familiar with it, but I will play the typical moves from the Dutch defense. I will fianchetto my light squared bishop. And I am a tempo down, but as mentioned, this move knight c6, perhaps it's a little bit strange. It seems he does not know the theory here. Not going to pretend I know anything either. but I just know d4 is a move here. So generally do not try this at home, do not push the pawns twice without any reason. Let's play c4, but this is an exception because now the knight on c6 is dominated by this pawn. Could have played d5 as well, but I don't really want to develop the queen so early. So my general plan is, I don't know, knight c3. If allowed, I will play e4. He's really taking his time in the opening. Well, gotta study your openings. It's move 4. You can't not know the plans on move 4 if you play the Dutch. As this pawn is not going backwards, so the king is quite weak. I haven't done anything special, I just lost a tempo with d4. Gives a check. Okay. Now I have a couple of options. Bishop d2 is the most natural. I'm leaning towards this just to kind of give him the ball and make him think. But knight c3 is of course possible. So he wants to exchange, play d6 and e5, dominating the dark squares. What can I do about this? I could play knight bd2. Whatever. Let's go here. He's not in time with whatever he's planning because I will play e4 and then I will open the position before he has the chance to play the move e5. So his plan would be to get rid of the dark squared bishops, then put the pawns on dark squares, which would make a lot of sense. But hopefully he is not in time, as if he was in time, then this would be quite a good idea. But yeah, now he is thinking again. I played the most natural move. Let's see what he does. So generally, yeah, he takes. Now, generally we take on queen on d2 with the queen to play knight c3. But here I think I am threatening kind of the move e4. And if he plays d5 to stop e4, then he has a lot of pawns on light squares, and he has the wrong bishop. Okay, now he's stopping e4. So with e3, he will play d6 there, I think. Could I play something funny like queen b1? What else? Queen c2 I'm not a big fan of. I might play this weird move queen b1. The idea is to prepare e4 before he has time for d6 and e5. I mean, I could play normally as well, e3, d6, bishop d3, but then e5. Don't really want to deal with this. Yeah, let's play queen b1. This is kind of a strange move. I'm really trying to play the move e4. And I don't want to play queen c2 because at some point knight b4 might be a problem. I'm not saying it will be, but it might. And also I might castle queenside at some point if I'm allowed to play all this. So if he plays d5, I'm happy to get back to normal development, because without the dark squared bishop, he can't really attack me here, like in the stone wall. Maybe after e4, he will try to open up the position as quickly as possible, arguing that I'm not very well developed. Yeah, now with e3, I guess d6. Okay, let's go e4. I think I'm in time to develop. I might castle queenside, if allowed. Generally bishop d3. Try to use his weekend king. Okay, let's go here. I'll pre-move queen takes c4. He might play d5, either now or later. But I'm not particularly scared. I have some vague ideas of playing knight g5, trying to checkmate on h7. So my problem is clearly that I'm not developed, but I don't think his pieces are aggressive enough to do anything about this. Maybe this is hopeful, but I do believe in my position. He is using a lot of time. The ideal scenario would really be to castle queenside somehow. But really I'm not sure this is going to be possible. Still thinking. So the time situation is 8 minutes against 4. Wow, here. This is a bit of a strange move. I guess bishop d3, right? Why not? I don't really like b6. I think this is too slow. Now his static disadvantages will appear on the board with the bad bishop, the weak king side due to f5, and yeah, h6. Now I'm going to castle, I guess. Yeah, I've kind of achieved what I wanted, whatever it was that I wanted to achieve. You can play knight b4, but I don't think this is really a pressing matter. Bishop b7 is expected. I will play maybe rook e1. And I'm not sure how he is making progress. Yeah, here I'll play rook e1. Will I? Will he go here? Quite likely. At some point I must not allow him to take here. Now I'm wondering if he has a threat. Here. Maybe something funny like this. I mean, I'm really playing some strange moves here. I do like this move somehow. I'm kind of trying to reroute the queen somewhere. Actually, maybe he's trying to do this. Yeah, my pieces are not very well placed, but they're fine. They do want the queen somewhere else. Queen e1 stops knight b4. It keeps defense here. I mean, is he really going here? He might be. Maybe I should be scared of the knight going to f4. Maybe I should go here. With the knight b4, he will take here probably. Hey, maybe I misjudged the position a little bit. Could play d5 at some point. I'm leaning towards just rook e1. Or taking and then something. Maybe I'll take, and when queen takes, I'll go here. Yeah, let's do that actually. Because for the moment he will not be able to play d5. And I am kind of pinning his pieces, and I'm saying that I will have enough time to finish my development. And I'm expecting him to take with the queen here. He's not really going to block two of his pieces, is he? He's thinking on these kind of simple decisions. I'm not sure. Taking the rook doesn't... I mean, actually it does make some sense. But I'm going to play here regardless. And if d5, then I will take and give the check. He really wants to take on f3, of course. This would be the reason to take with the rook. But I'm not going to allow him. Right? I can see the potential exchange sacrifice on f3 and the problems that can arise. So I have 6.5 minutes against 2 minutes, so this is a very significant time advantage. Maybe he is explaining his moves very thoroughly. And he's going here. Again, I'm not really fazed by this. So bishop e4, d5, takes, check. Then I assumed I would just move the knight to e5. If knight d4, I again assume that something will happen. Maybe here. All of this. Sure, let's go bishop e4. So now, I mean, d5 is the only forcing move. Like, now this doesn't make sense because I will take back. So what exactly is his point? I'm not really threatening to take. I mean, I could play something like this, but it looks a bit strange. Generally, my next move is rook e1, if allowed. Maybe he just wants to play queen e7 and double. Maybe that's his point. Yeah, that does kind of make sense. So, 6 minutes against 1 minute. Here. Okay, this one I do not quite understand. Queen h5, I guess, is the point. But I don't think this is very effective, is it? So knight e5 is a move. So if he takes, I can take here. And then take. At minimum. And I could play this. Here, here. But actual knight e5 does kind of create some kind of threat of a check. Not sure this check is threatening. So he cannot take, that much is clear, right? He can't take this either. I'll go knight e5, I guess. I guess he can't move the queen because this pawn is hanging. I mean, I guess I have some threat. Do I not? Knight g6, king h7. Maybe there's no real threat. Knight f8, king g8. I think he's fine, but he's the one that has to calculate. I'm not forced to go checkmate him. On the worst case, I have the kind of normal, simple threat of exchanging here, taking pawns. Oh, he can do this. I kind of missed this. Yeah, this. I missed this move actually. What can we do here? So I guess all of this stuff doesn't work. Unfortunately. Here, 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 here. I have any discover check, but none of them seem to work. He does have 30 seconds. Maybe I should, I don't know. Here then here. Probably have to take, unfortunately. I guess I could just take and play rook e1. This seems very, very, very simple. I'll go rook e1. It's kind of a boring way to play, but I will kind of develop my pieces. Again, his king is forever weak. d5 is impossible. And I will just be enjoying a slight advantage with a huge time advantage. So he will have to suffer. I will just pile up on the e-file, develop all my rooks. Not sure what his move here will be. He takes, I will take back with the queen to get the queen out of b1. It's done its job. Now I'm kind of trying to win on time, more or less. So his rook is attacked. Yeah, he goes here. I will go here, I guess. Yeah, I'll double on the e-file. He'll go rook e8 and rook f4. I will move the queen and then continue attacking. Goes here, and this makes sense. He's getting some space, but I don't think this is particularly useful. Maybe queen c6 is a useful move, actually. Could it be a useful move? Queen c6 attacks the pawn. Am I threatening the pawn? That's another question. After rook c8, I mean, I guess I could win a pawn like this. So he can't move the queen like this. How is he defending the pawn, really? Rook e7 seems very bad. Is he going here? Also looks strange. Not sure. Rook e8, e1. That's the most natural way to play here. I'll go attack the pawn, I think. Yeah, let's see what he does. It's up to him. Yeah, he plays the passive move, but now I'm happy because now his rook is very passive. So I will go rook e1. Not really threatening to take because he will take here. But at some point I will start to threaten this pawn. He goes here. Yeah, this makes sense. The queen d7 is stopped. And he has unlocked his rook, kind of. Okay, c5 maybe. Maybe it's time to play c5. I would assume it is, before he gets kind of developed. Okay, I'll play c5. The point is to create more weaknesses on the queen side and center, and yeah, if he plays this, at some point this will be hanging. So now I'm attacking this. If he takes, yeah, he can play this. Now I was thinking of just going here. He is attacking my stuff. Ah, he has some idea here. So here rook f8. Maybe I underestimated this. What else can I do here? Rook f8, f3. I mean, can't be horrible. Though this pawn is kind of loose. Do I really go here? Nah, this looks funny. His king is always a bit weak. How do I get my rook to e8? Queen b7 might be a bit stray. Okay, here we'll take here. I guess I'll. Don't really want to exchange pawns like this. Queen, and now he's getting easy moves. This is the problem. I didn't want him to have easy moves. Okay, let's go here. He will move the rook. I will, I guess, go here. Yeah, because if here rook f2 is a problem, as he's threatening checkmate. Guess I have to go f3. It looks safe enough. Not very safe, but safe enough. Now I guess he's taking this one. Yeah, so maybe we will exchange everything towards some kind of a draw. Now I saw that this pawn is actually defended. I will take here. Or will I not? Yeah, we'll take here, I guess. Yeah. Hopefully I win a pawn at some point here. If I don't, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. This is the question, right? So which pawn do I take? I guess I'll take this one. As this one is still quite weak, he'll probably play e4. Yeah, somehow I figured this would be the move. So now I am winning a pawn, as he will take probably b2. The position is fine there. I could take here and have a passed pawn. Maybe this is a bit more testing. His rooks are opened up, but I don't think this is particularly good for him. Yeah, I think I'm going to just take here. All I need to check is if he has any ideas here. And I don't really see any. Queen f7, with the idea to play rook f1. Yeah, that is an idea. Queen d5 there. Yeah, I will go for this. Queen f7. I will go queen d5 to pin his stuff. I don't see any other moves, I guess. I don't really want to allow any checks. I'll go queen d5. This pins his queen, which means after this he cannot take back on f1. So he's forced to exchange queens. Now he will have to be a bit passive, I hope. Now what? So I have to play this rook endgame somehow. There's many ways to play it. Rook e5 maybe. With rook d2, I don't know, let's just play. Maybe I'm overthinking things. Rook f5 now, yeah. That's unfortunate, so I guess I'll have to do this. Yeah, this wasn't the smartest way to play after all. Now my king is cut off, this is kind of the problem. Let's play g4. Try to give my king some kind of space. Sure, he goes there. Or maybe rook f2. Takes. Yeah. And this doesn't really work. Okay, I'll go here. And then I'll go here. I'll bring my king somewhere. He'll play g5 at some point. He plays it now. Okay, now I guess I want to activate my rook somehow. Well, let's go here. Maybe I'll double and give up this pawn so that I pick up something else. The position is kind of a draw, but I am pawn up. This can't really be a draw. Let's give a check. Let's improve the rook to f5 maybe. Or not. Yeah, sure, why not? Can't really be a mistake, can it? At some point I might play rook e6. Now my next move is king f3. And then I will actually go here. Alright, this is a move. I kind of forgot about this. But now Not really working. Guess I have to give up a pawn like this. Yeah, he will take here, I will bring my king, I will play rook e6. So I will force a rook endgame with the pawn here. He goes here, I will improve the rook. And I assume he wants to do something like this. He probably should move the king so that the rook e6 is not a threat. He goes here, but I think this should be more or less winning. Should it not be? Oh, I have no time. Yeah, I have to exchange. I think I'm winning here. He will go somewhere. He goes here, I'll go here. And yeah, he goes here. I'll put the rook behind the pawn. This was maybe not the best move. Oh, this is actually not a very good move. Yeah, he can exchange rooks. Oh no. Yeah, this seems like a drawn endgame now. I have to go here. And probably this is more or less a draw. King f6, queen h8 would be nice, but he's not going to blunder this. Oh, but actually I do have a possibility to go to a pawn endgame, which might be winning actually. Is this pawn endgame? Yeah, actually the pawn endgame is not winning, but there's no real better way to play. I think h5 he has to play. I'm quite sure this move. No, actually king f7 is good enough. Yeah, maybe actually anything works at this point. Yeah, this is not particularly difficult. He can play h5. This would be a theoretical draw because yeah, he will exchange, and whenever I take this pawn, he will answer with king g7, and he will have the opposition. So yeah, I think this is what he will demonstrate. Yeah, so here. Yeah, and if I take the pawn, he will go here. Maybe I can trick him somehow, but I'm quite sure this will not work out. Yeah, let's make a few more moves, and hopefully he gets tricked somehow, but probably this will not work. He just has to always be able to, after the capture, go king g7, and yeah, any move is okay for him. Yeah, okay, let's make a draw, and let's demonstrate what happens if I try to push the pawn. Here he must go king g, because if he had gone king f8, king f6, king g8, g7 would be winning. So of course he's a master, so he knows this stuff, and let's give a stalemate. So we did not manage to win this second game. So this was quite fun. Hopefully you enjoyed this part, and now we'll hop in a call and talk about the games together.